Hello guys, welcome to my channel Jura Tempest Federation. This video contains spoilers from the Tensura light novel. This video is continuation video after Dino's office visit. So if you have not watched, please watch it, the link is in the description below. But before we proceed, please like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell for further updates. Now, let's examine the intriguing results of our research. Even though this was a reward for Diablo, assembling almost 1,000 bodies was still a monumental project. I wanted to build a Magisteel doll like Beretta and replicate it with Wisdom King Raphael. But that would be dull. That said, it also wasn't feasible to build each one from scratch. It was then that I unexpectedly thought of a better alternative: create a workshop that could mass-produce them. I prepared a 1 meter wide, 3 meter high transparent cylinder made of tempered glass. I officially named it the Growth Capsule. As the name implied, the goal was to grow entities such as monsters inside them. The capsule would be filled with the water I had stored in my stomach from the underground lake within the sealed cave. Since the lake water contained a high concentration of magicules, I decided to name it Magiwater. It could be added to fortify our Tempest potions or even restore mana in humans. The useful properties it exhibited had a wide variety of potential applications. The growth capsule had a pipe fitting that allowed additional magicules to be added. By inserting supplementary magicules, the density of the Magiwater increased, which subsequently improved the chances of spawning a monster. When the concentration of the Magiwater dropped below the minimum threshold, the capsule would automatically refill with magicules in order to revert this change. I prepared 1,000 growth capsules. When I had finished assembling them, I suddenly realized it would have been much more convenient to simply build 1,000 dolls from scratch. Well, don't sweat the small stuff. That was my belief. The point was to be romantic enough. After all, I was delighted to have worked on my project and had zero regrets. The hall was now filled with growth capsules. Magnificent. In order to spawn monsters, specific conditions must be met first. It was thanks to our recent research that we had discovered this fact. Otherwise, no matter how many magicules we pumped into the filled capsule, no monster would spawn. However, if you were to combine certain factors, then you attain the ability to spawn strong monsters as a result. For instance, if we threw a snake into the capsule, the dense magicule concentration would poison it to death. Regardless, its flesh would combine with the Magiwater and be rebuilt as a Tempest serpent. And as a result, an A- ranked monster would be created. Now, you probably have some idea of just how incredible the growth capsule was. It was evident that monsters produced from the growth capsule were several times stronger than their original counterparts. The reason these monsters were so strong was likely due to the fact that they were born in a stable, lab-controlled environment filled with magicules. Despite this, sometimes an individual's body would break down upon birth and quickly die. Whether these monsters could survive was all down to luck. There was still room for improvement, and I planned on taking advantage of the growth capsule's properties to generate the necessary 1,000 bodies. Well then, how's progress coming along? I inquired. Quite fine. I've also been doing a lot of research lately, Ramirez cheerfully replied. Oh, then I'll be looking forward to… Hey, what the hell is that? I got spooked upon noticing the floating object inside the growth capsule. It was almost hard to believe, a complete 180 from what I'd expected. For my original plan, only the skeletons of the 1,000 bodies would be crafted out of Magisteel, and then they would be submerged in the magicule medium. Theoretically speaking, the skeleton would be used as the foundation to form a bone golem. Since the framework was artificial, there was little possibility of their bodies decaying. There wouldn't be any soul possessing the bodies either. Only the magicules in the liquid would crystallize on the skeletons. The probability that the bodies would abruptly gain self-consciousness was theoretically zero. Unlike when I had created Beretta, they did not require detailed modeling. The demons planning to acquire the bodies would no doubt use their own magicules to alter their appearance to suit personal tastes. At least that was how I initially envisioned it. Within the 1,000 growth capsules were humanoid dolls drifting in them. However, various measures were taken to implement each essential body part. The most eye-catching one was the central component. Inside their chest was the artificial representation for the heart, the pumping spirit magic core. This is... I came up with the idea. If they have a strong enough core, the monsters would probably be even stronger, Ramirez casually revealed with a smirk. In layman's terms, it was already very difficult to prepare 1,000 spirit magic cores. It wouldn't take me too long to craft them, but with a lack of interest and passion, I considered it a chore and didn't have the motivation to make them. That was why I wanted to resort to something simpler. Yet, Ramirez was apparently too stubborn to compromise. Looks like she did the work the traditional way to prepare the portions for 1,000 bodies. They even had emulated souls installed. It seemed that the technology to possess a homunculus from Sarion was also being utilized here. Although Beretta easily possessed his body, if it were Trainee-san's sisters, they presumably would struggle to achieve the same result. With that being said, using emulated souls was probably the right choice. On the downside, this would obviously have led to a ton of work. No wonder why she complained about the lack of manpower. Ramirez-sama's ideas were wonderful and truly intriguing. When I saw what she was trying to integrate, it would have been impossible not to assist her endeavor, Vesta explained with distant eyes. That was only natural. With the sheer amount of stuff here, he could have gotten as much data as he wanted. These fist-sized spirit magic cores were all top-quality products. When combined with the skeletons I had built, the alteration greatly differed from my original design. There were even enchantments on the metallic bones. As magicules enveloped the skeleton, they began materializing as muscle tissue. We could further observe the process of how monsters were born. I finally understood why Vesta considered sleeping a waste of valuable time. How about it? Aren't these all super fascinating? Gah ha ha ha, seeing that expression on Rimuru's face has already made it worth our time. Ramirez and Veldora were visibly pleased with themselves. Yes, it's very interesting, but did Ramirez really come up with this? Of course. Well, how about it? What do you think? Apart from shouting her line, Ramirez also proudly puffed out her chest. You can show off all you want this time. This is truly extraordinary stuff. While Ramirez looked a bit ditzy at first glance, she was still intelligent. She was highly knowledgeable about spirit engineering to the point of mastery, and right now she was also learning about magic science. I heard that she'd been visiting level 95 quite frequently. She didn't just idle around during her immense cyclic lifespan. Her proficiency in the laws of physics was exceptional. Surprisingly enough, she was fully qualified as a researcher. I can't allow her appearance to deceive me. Ah, these are really impressive. And they're all handcrafted as well. How much work did you put in making this? It was super tiring. Although they aren't dolls with ball joints like Beretta, but rather simply bodies imitating human skeletons, if we prepare heart-emulating cores like this, I'm sure that they will absorb a large quantity of magicules when submerged in the capsule. I wholeheartedly agreed with a nod after listening to Ramirez's opinion. Thus, we now had the ability to manufacture bodies that were far stronger than I had predicted. They would be the cream of the crop. Gazing at the vessels that were suspended in the capsules, I tried to estimate their potential strength. I suspected their magicule content would be at the top of rank A, and there were 1,000 of them. This was all thanks to the integration of spirit magic cores and emulated souls. What an incredible feat. I was thoroughly impressed from the bottom of my heart. A few days had passed since Dino's unanticipated arrival. Diablo had yet to return, but I suspected that it was almost time. In order to complete the bodies early, I headed to the research facility today as well. The place was bustling with activity. Ramirez was in a heated argument with Veldora. Like I said, I want to pour Mentor's magicules directly into the capsules to accelerate the growth. But what would happen if you messed it up? Wouldn't all the blame get pinned on me? These guys are up to no good. Having piqued my curiosity, I concealed myself and eavesdropped on them. I had become quite skilled at hiding my presence lately. It seemed Veldora didn't even realize I was there. It's okay with so many bodies here. Moreover, I will also show support for that thing Mentor wants to request from Rimuru. So please, pretty please. Ramirez beseeched Veldora to donate some of his magicules. They sure are close. I couldn't help but smile at the scene. By the way, what was it that Veldora wanted to request from me? I had no idea, which further piqued my curiosity. I just can't get mad at you. Just remember to support me on that thing. Veldora sighed, signaling his defeat. Mm-hmm, just count on me, Ramirez hurriedly reassured. It looked like they both came to an agreement. Veldora nodded with an Despite acting all pompous, his expression clearly gave away the fact that he was more than happy to do it. On one hand, it was probably because of Ramirez's instigation, while on the other hand, he likely would have agreed regardless. That's it for today, guys. See you at the next one. For further updates, please like, share, and subscribe. And do not forget to push the notification bell.